After Hollow Knight's incredible success into mainstream gaming, which is unusual for Metroidvania, its fanbase has been known to accuse other games of ripping off Hollow Knight, often with qualities that are just standard Metroidvania features. For perspective, I am a Hollow Knight fan, and I certainly see where the accusers are coming from when looking at Ori and the Will of the Wisps. All of the alleged evidence comes from the fact that the second game is drastically different from the first, and Hollow Knight was released in between. For starters, Ori has a sword now, and there are several systems that are nearly identical to Hollow Knight's, like an exact replica of the charm system. This wouldn't be a problem if the first game shared any of these qualities. The saving system is very common and not uniquely Hollow Knight's, even though they do share it. But one of the most unique things about the first game was that you had to use energy to create your own save points, which they abandoned. I don't think this game should be considered in any way a Hollow Knight clone, but there's almost certainly some inspiration from Team Cherry, which is completely acceptable considering the popularity of Hollow Knight, but should not be ignored. I want to make it clear that I do not think this game is a direct copy of Hollow Knight and has its own identity. On its own, the sequel is a solid Metroidvania platformer that prioritizes fluid movement in a colorful, natural setting. I have several things I'd like to praise as well as several complaints. I'll start with the complaints so that this video ends on a positive note, because in the end, I did enjoy this game. So here we go. Everything in water sucks. You have this tiny oxygen bar that can't get you anywhere, and you can't do anything or use any of your abilities underwater. Like, for example, there's this part where you have to go into dark water, and being in the dark for too long kills you instantly. But we'll get to that. So you need to use this flashlight ability, right? But you can't activate it in the water, so you have to get out of the water, turn it on, and then get back in the water. Why? Also, drowning kills you instantly. Then there's the part where the entire area is dark. Don't even talk to me about the dark level. I hate the dark level. Also, there's a grappling hook, and usually that'd be fun, but here you have to be standing on the exact perfect pixel for the grappling hook hitbox to even work at all, and most of the time you have to mash the grapple button while moving around to have any chance at success. Okay, deep breath. Next is the boss fights, which every time I would try to use one of my 20 abilities, and discover that the real strategy, every single time, is just to mash sword, run away, and repeat. The story is almost identical to the first game, like I thought we cleansed the forest by defeating the big bird last time. Okay, two more things. The game throws all of this side quest bullshit at you, and it feels like it was slapped on last second. There are characters that you can talk to for no reason, and the game is so linear that anything you would have found by doing the side quests, you'll find anyway if you're exploring, and if you're not, it doesn't matter, because the quests have absolutely no effect on the game. To add on to all that, there is so much shallow, meaningless dialogue around every corner, and everything would be the same if you could never interact with another character. In terms of bugs, the game is fairly smooth, but you will get stuck on terrain, and sometimes Ori and other characters will start violently shaking for no reason. If you're having trouble with a platforming area, you can usually just damage boost through the spikes and ignore the actual solution. Okay, now that I've gotten through all that, you must think I hate this game, and that's only partially true. But now I will finish with the positives. Gareth Coker returns for the sequel with another beautiful soundtrack highlighting violins and other strings. The music adapts to a situation, able to build tension and promote exploration through levels and boss fights, while using the same instruments and themes. The art direction and visual style are by far the most impressive feat. Everything is hand-drawn and levels are distinctly colorful and lush. The whole game sort of glows. The lighting effects are turned up to the max, and the game certainly benefits from it. You were given almost too many movement abilities like extra jumps and mid-air dashes. These abilities allow the game to maintain a certain flow as you fling through the air. It's good that this is prioritized because the combat is a little lackluster and often feels like you take hits as often as you give them. With all the problems I expressed, the game is still fun at a base level, if a little repetitive. Anyways, Hollow Knight was better, and this game's clearly a copy. 6.5 out of 10.